So I'm sitting here with my friend Melinda of Bloom Here, and I gotta be honest with you, you do amazing things in the Raleigh area to love RDU, to serve RDU, but you're in the trenches, right? Like you're doing some difficult stuff. And so let's just dive into, before we get into Bloom Here and what you're doing today, take us through your background a little bit, being corporate, being the boss, like business suits and high heels is what you were telling me, and that's shifted a little bit.
Yes.
So take us back to the beginning of all that and what your life looked like a few years ago.
Oh, my life looked glamorous a few years ago. It was awesome. I was flying around on planes. I ran a $25 million company.
So take us through the vision that you had, just the literally halt on your life where it was like, no, you're going a different direction now. Walk us through that.
I was on a plane. I was on a plane and I was in prayer. God came to me and I say this, and a lot of people sometimes do not understand, but God gifted me my childhood trauma. So I went through everything up until 38 without knowing what happened to me as a child. But at 38, everything came back. And so during that time of 38 to 40, I was able to have the accessibility to go to therapy. I was able to go to yoga. I was able to go to church. I was able to have people come to me and help me dive into what had happened to me. And that's when I started to think about other women and said to myself, how do people without money heal?
And you didn't just do something, you did something. What did you do?
At 42, I sold my home and I took out my 401k. And what I did was took 2 years and worked on the streets of Raleigh. Because what I wanted to find out is, how are women being cared for? How are we caring for women that went through what I went through? What's it look like? And I knew for me, the whole time that I was healing, I had a home. I got to go home. I got to make my bed. I got to take a bath. I got to take a shower. I got to do things that a lot of people that have been through a traumatic experience maybe don't have the tools to do. Right. And so when I was working with the women on the streets and asking them questions, I was like, why do you go back? And they were like, well, Melinda, you gave me job skills. They gave me job skills. They did this. And I got my job at McDonald's making $7.25 an hour. Where am I gonna find a home at that hourly wage? Where am I gonna live for $7.25 an hour? And why wouldn't I go to the bathroom and do a trick where I'm gonna make $100, where I can make $300 at the McDonald's, or $400 a day, so I can take care of myself? Let that sit with you for a minute. That is why people go back. I'd go back. I mean, that's a business plan right there. $7.25 to $100 4 times a day. Okay, I got you.
Right.
And so I heard them. And then I heard also, I don't have anywhere to go. If I go home, it's the home that I was abused in. It was the home that I drank in. It was the home that I was not safe in. It was the home that I had no dignity in. And so that's where I was like, they need a home.
So fast forward to today, because Bloom Here is serving exactly
Absolutely.
in that atmosphere, women
Yes.
who need a place to stay and
Yes.
recover.
Yes.
So what does today look like for you guys? You have a handful of women that you're
Yes.
walking through life with,
Yes.
and it's not easy.
No.
So on one hand, what do the women receive going through Bloom Here? And number two, what does the day-to-day look like as you're trying to navigate life with these women?
So what the women receive when they come into the Bloom Here house, it's a 2-year residential recovery program. And they receive rent, dental, and mental free. Because what I wanted to make sure is that holistically, they could settle, right? They could get to know themselves. When you're trying to pay rent and trying just to keep above board, it is very, very hard to work on all the other stuff. So we're trying to truly do a reset for them.
Yeah.
And so that they can get to know who they are.
Yeah. And it's not glamorous work for you. We were talking about that.
No.
It's tough work. So my question is, and I think this is a really good question for all of us, no matter what we do, but especially you, when you're like, this is not easy work.
Right.
Most days you're not appreciated.
No.
some days you're cussed out, right? Like it's
Absolutely.
most days maybe, not
yes,
some
they
days.
hate me. Yes, they hate me.
So why do you do what you do?
I do it for the fact that I believe that every human being should have that opportunity to have dignity and grace.
Yeah.
I believe it. And I believe that whatever you have done is not who you are, that you can change, and that I believe that everybody deserves a break.
And today you're celebrating, right?
Yes.
Today you're celebrating not just 1 year of Bloom Here being in the home, but also you're celebrating a sobriety, right?
Yes, we've got one girl that's just this is her year of sobriety, which is huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1 year. She's doing the program. In fact, right now she's getting on the laptop right now as we speak, she's going to school for her GED. This woman's 47 years old, getting her GED. Do you know how hard that is? I mean, that's hard. And on a computer, no computer skills.
Well, we know it's a thankless work many days, but we do appreciate you sitting down and sharing a little bit about the awesome, amazing way that you are loving RDU. You are serving the Raleigh community. So we wanted to hear your story, but we also have something at New City Church called the $5 Gift Club, where we want to thank people who are doing amazing things like that. So we invite all of our people to give an additional $5 on top of their offering. So not just the day of interviewing you, which has been great, but I also have a check for $485 just to say thank you for what you're doing. Like I said, we see what you're doing, and that's just for you and Bloom Here, just to say happy 1 year anniversary and celebrate tonight.
Thank you so much.
And my last question for you, Melinda, is how can the church serve? Specifically Bloom Here, and just our partners in Raleigh, the people who are overlooked. How could the church serve?
I feel what this church could serve is, for us, we definitely need volunteers. So if that is something, you can go on our website, bloomhere.org.com, and look at what ways to serve for us are. Also, monumentally, the money is the best.
Fuels the mission, right?
It does, and we need it. The bottom line, we need it.
Well, Melinda, thank you once again. Happy 1 year anniversary to Bloom Here, and hey, many more, right?
Many more.